It's pretty much you figure out how to control your mind, or you're going to live a very difficult life. Because at the end of the day, the main thing you can control is your mind. Yo. After doing a lot of research and thinking, I came to this conclusion. And that's, we're pretty much living in a world that we've created for ourselves based on what thoughts we've been thinking. I'm going to say that again, extremely clearly. The world you're living in right now is exactly what you've created based on all the thoughts you've been thinking. Now, to some of you, this may seem absolutely crazy, but really think about it for a second. If you wake up one day and you're like, oh, today is going to be a great day, what are the odds that that day is a great day? 9 times out of 10 that's happened to you, that day's been a great day. But if you wake up and think that today is going to be a bad day, also 9 times out of 10, or even 10 times out of 10, that was a bad day for you. That's just a really surface level example, but pretty much anything that you think is going to happen is very likely to happen. Which is why a lot of times, if you focus on negative things happen to you. But if you focus on positive things will happen to you. I was watching this documentary. It's called The Secret. If you haven't seen it yet, you should go watch it. Some very successful person told me to watch it, so I recommend you also go watch it. But I was watching that documentary and I was reading the book Reality Transferring. They're both very similar, but it's in essence just talking about your thoughts and how powerful they are to influence your surroundings around you. Another good example of this would be, let's say, so basically what you need to do is focus on things that you want and not things that you don't want. An example of this is, let's say you wake up with a cough, right? Like you have a little mild cough and you start thinking about being sick and like how sick you're about to be and all that because like you had a little cough. Your mind will make that happen to you. Like you'll become even more sick. Does that make sense? Versus that's focusing on what you don't want. You don't want to be sick. So you're like, oh, I hope I'm not sick, or I might be sick, but I hope I'm not. That's focusing on being sick. But focusing on what you want is literally brushing a cough aside, saying, I'm healthy, I'm good, let's keep it moving. The chances that your body will heal faster are infinitely higher because of what you were thinking. Does that make sense? Like it goes even deeper. If you're always thinking about how you have no money to do anything, you're going to keep having no money. But if you start thinking that, like, I'll find a way to do it, I have money, I'm good, you're going to start making money. I'm not saying that you can just sit there, lie in bed, and dream all day and think about, like, being rich and successful and all those things, and you'll get rich and successful. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm saying that as you go about your day-to-day life, as you're working hard towards your goals, if you're constantly focusing on images of things you want and constantly thinking of good things happening to you throughout your life and thinking positively, that's gonna happen way faster and that's gonna happen. Versus if you're working hard, doing this, that, but you're always thinking about things you don't want, like I don't want to be late for this meeting, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You're gonna keep getting exactly what you're hoping not to get, just because that's your predominant focus. Like, I know some of these concepts may sound out of there and crazy, but you have to take it into consideration. I've heard too many successful people talk about the power of the mind that I don't even think it's like we're guessing at this anymore. Like, it's pretty much you figure out how to control your mind, or you're going to live a very difficult life. Because at the end of the day, the main thing you can control is your mind. That's the one thing on earth that you have complete control of. You can completely control every single thought you think. Anytime you think a thought you don't want to be thinking, you can catch it and change it. You have complete control of your mind. Sometimes you can't control external things that happen to you, but the mind is the one thing you have complete control of. So figure out how to control that ASAP. Another thing, when I was reading something, and it was saying that a good way to help yourself stay regulated and control your mind is anytime you have a negative emotion or thought that's not serving you at the present moment. You could literally accept that you had that thought. Don't beat yourself up over having the thought. Take a step back and ask yourself what thoughts would be better serving you at this moment. Correct that and start thinking those thoughts. This is a good way to keep yourself always thinking positively and keeping your mood and thoughts regulated, because that's the most important thing going about life. And I'm going to reiterate what I said before. I'm not saying to just be on the couch all day and don't do anything. No, you're still going to have to work very hard if you want to achieve everything you want to achieve. But I'm saying while you're working hard, make sure your mind is in order, because most people's aren't. Does that make sense? All right, if this video helped you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, I'll see you guys soon.